Perfect. Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen podcast with your host, me, BoredGamer, and the lovely Zinnia. Say hello, Zin.
Hello, Zin.
It is the end of January of the 2022, and we're just going to talk about what happened this month and about what we liked, what we didn't like, and some stuff that we're looking forward to. Because, well, let's start with the lack of video and news content from CIG in January. It was a very quiet month when it comes to CIG news, videos, roadmap updates, all that sort of stuff. My voice is going. That's how...
Have a cough.
I'm good. I think that's better. Thank God you're a doctor's in. Yeah, so what did you think? Have you come to, now that you've been covering Star Citizen for a little bit, do you sort of like understand that there was a lull in January? Did you expect it to be until the end of January? They sort of didn't really do any news updates. What were you expecting there?
I think I was expecting a bit more like mid-January to end of January.
Me too, mate.
I suppose they have been fairly... It's not like they're not there at all. They have been quite, active in the community, sort of chatting on the message boards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. It is more the sort of regular shows, roadmap updates, Inside Star Citizen, Star Citizen Live that we're lacking, which does actually make up quite a meat of the content that we have on this channel, because it helps work out where Cloud Imperium's focus is, and we are effectively a news channel that covers the news. So from our point of view, it's obviously a little bit worse than it was. But yeah, there was obviously a load of events and that 3.16.1 patch and things like that, which was actually pretty good. Like, I think a lot of people probably enjoyed at the beginning of January the sort of Jump Town and Ninetales Lockdown events. And then obviously as we moved further into January, we had Xenothreat being tested, but there was lots of problems with Xenothreat, which they are trying to solve now, which is why it's delayed. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. Obviously, we had that 3.16.1 patch that was in testing and then made live. What did you think of that, and what have you seen of it since you've tested it a little bit? And we've talked about it a little bit before. So, what was it something you were excited about? Do you think it actually has much in it, or do you think actually this is just really a platform for Xenothreat and it has a caterpillar broken down in a couple of ways with some boxes in it?
For me, mostly it was probably Xenothreat. I really enjoyed Xenothreat. But it's just a point patch. They're never really that impressive. So
yeah, that's true.
I'd say that they're more there to fix bugs from the other patch, the original patch.
So there are still some major problems with the 3.16.1 patch, like you can't restock properly at the low orbit stations at planets and things like that, and there's desync problems and lots of other little things and major things. So it is an improvement on 3.16. And 3.16 was actually pretty good. I mean, the stability and performance of 3.16.1 is fantastic. I mean, we are talking about a live alpha game, and alpha being the important part of that. I'm looking forward to Xenothreat as well. It has been delayed, Xenothreat, until some point this week. I think it's the 3rd of February.
Yeah, they said the 3rd of Feb.
Xenothreat should be cool. A few little updates here from when we last played Xenothreat a couple of patches ago that should make it fun. Assuming they can get the Javelin fixed, we will have that this week. And you can probably expect a ship sale. Now, Zin, are you expecting any time they could possibly have a ship sale, any excuse to have a ship sale, they'll have a ship sale? And do you think it's reasonable to do so?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I think it's always good for them to have ship sales. I can see they probably have most of their ships bought during ship sales, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's a bit of hype around it. Their marketing team's pretty good. I mean, I think some people at least will argue that it's a bit predatory in its monetization model, because it goes a little bit of artificial sort of scarcity, and you can only buy certain ships at certain times, and you do want to get this because if you buy that now, you get it at as cheap as possible price, and you don't have to worry about getting it in game. That said, you can get everything pretty much in game even now, so bear that in mind before you buy ships. And lots of people need crew for their ships too, so if you're like, oh, but I really want to fly a Hammerhead, you can crew in someone else's Hammerhead when they're flying around doing Xenothreat, because the fleet battle stuff in Xenothreat's a good laugh. But yeah, I'm very much in the same opinion that whenever they can have a sale, they probably should. They just should not sell certain things, like land. CIG. Talking about something I'm not actually particularly hyped that I'm selling, the new hover quad.
Why you hate hover quad?
Okay, so I am not a fan of consolidated Outlands ships, especially the newer ones. I do not like the look of the Nomad. They're trying to make them look a bit like the consolidated Outland logo, and they're trying to make them really chonky boys. But in a way, my brain looks at them and goes, "Oh, I don't like this at all." So it is a personal preference thing. So I don't like the look of the hover quad. I mean, it's cool underneath. I mean, it's a cool looking ship. It just doesn't. And then, as a hover bike, it's sort of like, it's got a little bit of cargo, but it's got no weapons and stuff. I'll have the Dragonfly instead, mate. I can carry a person on that, some cargo. It's got weapons. I'm a big fan of the Dragonfly. So for me, yeah, it's another option for transport on the ground. Cool. If you want more options and stuff, a much more civilian type vehicle. But I don't see its purpose in game beyond that. Maybe it will have more use than I'm thinking. I mean, there would certainly be a Q&A. I feel that the Q&A for it is going to be like, it's okay. It's got cargo and the other ones don't. No, you're wrong. Dragonfly does. It's going to annoy me. I'm pre-annoyed at a potential answer in the Q&A.
The thing is, it's the sort of hover vehicle that you would take to the shops.
Yeah, it's a little civilian thing. Or a mobility scooter.
You shouldn't, it doesn't have guns, so you shouldn't be expecting to get into any fights. So you just go and do your weekly shop.
You down with your hover quads in, and me down in my little golf cart, in my grey cat buggy. Let's go to the shops together. I think it's going to be very useful for people to use as a lifetime insurance token, because it should be pretty cheap, in my opinion. And obviously you can upgrade that into another ship if you wanted to. Or as I said, just grab the stuff in-game. It is important they have things like this, because you can buy then a very cheap civilian bike in-game credits. And it is important they have choice, for sure. And I apologise to people that think I'm hating on the hoverquad, but it is, of my personal opinion, I do not like it.
Are you trying to say it's a gateway vehicle?
It's a gateway bike. But it sort of is. I mean, that's sort of what lifetime insurance tokens are. And some people, they look for those. So, February's in.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to? Because February currently has lots in it. The start of February having like Xenothreat.
Oh, I'm always looking forward to Xenothreat.
Yes.
I really like Xenothreat. I really like doing Xenothreat. I like partaking in it, and I like just recording it as well. It's so nice to see so many people come together and just I'm not going to say the words, just poop all over the enemies. It's great.
Well, I can't believe you held your tongue. Zin has the mouth of a sailor normally. That sailor's had a lot of problems and was saying a lot of profanities throughout their life. Okay, yeah. So I think Xenothreat is by far my favourite event that CIG do and have done. And you are at heart a co-op PvE player.
Mm-hmm.
Although you do play you have previously played things like Apex Legends and Counter-Strike and stuff, and you enjoy that. But it's much less anxiety, I suppose, in those, because you don't like a game like EVE or whatever, where you can have potential PvP just crop up on you.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you like Xenothreat, because it's getting less and less likely to have PvP in it, at least in my opinion, although that might change. And it's a solid, really fun co-op PvE event where you can we found out that the real friends were the pilots we made along the way or something, I don't know, but yeah, and it has that fun little cargo parts where you have to come together to do that and defend the javelin, and then it has the actually pretty good fleet battle, which is really good for footage. Me and Zin can just fly through that filming, and it's like, ooh, pretty. I feel like I'm a morphologist. I can get pretty shots. That's the feeling. But yeah, so what I'm going to try and get Zin to do as well is that when Xenothreat starts, I'm going to get her to organise a couple of BoredGamer Discord Let's Do Xenothreat events where we just go, we're going to be on this time, let's all get in a group and just do Xenothreat. Because it'd be nice to have some footage and actually get some BoredGamer footage together so anyone can join. We're all good with that. Because when we were doing it in testing, because the new derelicts were around in 3.16.1, people didn't seem to be too interested in Xenothreat because there were some problems with Xenothreat. The javelin didn't spawn, things like that. So I wanted to test Xenothreat, and there was maybe 5 or 6 people doing it on a server. You're like, okay, that makes the cargo element of it take a little bit while longer than it should. We're looking forward to Xenothreat. Anything else?
Not really.
Not really?
I mean, I didn't partake in the Red Festival much last year.
Okay.
It's just like Luminalia really, but not as fun.
that is kind of true. So it's got the same sort of the red envelopes instead of the presents that you can find to get money. So the Red Festival, for people that don't know, runs this year through January 31st,
which is today,
to February 15th, mid-February, and you'll be able to find these little red envelopes in-game, which you can sell for money or give them to other people, and there will probably be a load of ships and vehicles on sale that are red, or red skins for them. It's a very mini minor festival-y thing, and there'll be screenshot competitions and stuff.
Yeah, but there's no free giveaways. I mean, it's not like the Luminalia giveaways were that impressive anyway, but at least they gave you something.
Yeah, so I quite liked the little daily
calendar
advent calendar gifts.
Yeah.
I know that sort of rubbed some people the wrong way because they were like, oh, I wanted a little bit more or whatever, but I liked it. I
shut up, be grateful for what you got.
Yeah. Well, we won't have Christmas next year. Ugh.
Yeah.
We've got we do have like things like Core and More, which again, little tiny. Oh, it's Valentine's Day, so let's sell some ships.
Yeah.
We know that Jumptown and probably Nine Tails Lockdown is coming back, but we don't know exactly when. Some point in February. We do know that there's a free fly in February. Obviously, only be relevant to people that don't really have Star Citizen. But I suppose it does look like everyone's going to be given an Aurora MR, a Cutlass Black, a Prospector, and a 100i.
That's not bad.
Yeah, to use during the free fly, and that anyone can then participate. And there will also be a referral bonus going on at the same time. This time, instead of for a ship or a vehicle, for a more minor sort of thing, which is a suit of armor and a weapon, the Quaranus armor, which is actually quite a cool looking set of armor.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, it's Snipperiffle and Quaranus armor. It's sort of like white and gold, or black and blue, based on how you see the dress. Yeah, there's a reasonable amount happening in February, and obviously, the thing that excites me the most about February is the roadmap update, because I'm a little bit anxious for it. There's loads of videos I want to do, but I can't really do without knowing what's currently focused on the roadmap update.
Yeah, obviously that was because it was going to be the 26th of Jan, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that had already been sort of like, I was hoping we'd see it mid-January, but then they went, oh, it's going to be on the 26th of Jan, and then they went, oh, we need more time. We're still waiting for a couple of things from teams to tell us, basically, is this going to be ready then, or when's this going to be scheduled? And they also wanted to write a little guide with it to explain some terminology.
I don't understand half the stuff they go on about.
So I'm assuming the terminology thing is literally just to talk about, it will say, look, some of these things will move, and when we say that this is going to be in this patch, we don't mean it's going to be in this patch, we mean it's probably going to be in the patch, unless something happens. It'll be sort of a deeper explanation of how that sort of works and what you can expect from a patch release, and yes, it can change at the last second. That's what I'm expecting, really, rather than a terminology guide. But yeah, I'm a bit anxious because we don't know how 3.17 and 3.18 are going to change, and we don't know for sure what the focuses for Star Citizen are this year. It could very much be that they're planning to get Pyro out by the end of the year. It could be that they're like, well, that's not happening. We might be seeing server meshing at the end of the year. We might be seeing Vulkan integration. We could be seeing dynamic universe stuff. There's so much that might happen. And like, even things like the Corsair, we know the Corsair's in active production now, it sounds like, and the Corsair's going to be done by the end of the year. Could the Banner Merchant be done by the end of the year? Well, it's still in concept phase, but it's in active production. So it's in concept phase, it's actually in white box, but they're doing R&D. I think that's correct.
Imagine, though, Pyro by the end of the year.
Yeah, but I've been thinking that for the last 2 years.
Only 2 years?
Well, maybe 3. Yeah, well, COVID knocked us for a loop. It's sort of all 2 years have merged into one in my brain. But I am very much looking forward to February, looking forward to that roadmap update. Let's see what happens with 3.17, and will we get some of those cool features like persistent hangars? And are we going to be seeing hacking and the cargo refactor still the first half of this year, stuff like that? Once we know, there'll be loads of videos on that. We'll cover that. We'll talk about a lot more of the features and stuff and the focus. What's your feeling at the moment? Do you think we'd see Pyro at the end of the year, or is it just a hope?
Just a hope. I'd really like to see Pyro at the end of the year, and from the sounds of things, they are properly putting development time into it, and all the other things, the aspects that are going to be needed to have a successful Pyro.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think they're going to release it until they're happy with it, until they think that it's actually going to be a good gameplay addition.
Well, they've also been doing a load of work on the Nyx system as well. which is the system we're expecting to see straight after Pyro.
Imagine if they got released at the same time.
It's possible, but I assume that even if they were ready at the same time, let's say, for the sake of argument, they are, they'd probably do them in 2 separate patches.
Yeah.
Just for the amount of contents to and then test, because they like a good old Evocati and then a wider PTU test. And if there's a huge amount of gameplay area, well, that's a huge amount of playtest time. February's looking good. We will probably be doing a what's to look forward to in February and content plans for February and talking about what's new on the channel tomorrow, because it's the 1st of February tomorrow, unless something changes. Yeah, this week's going to be good. This week's going to be good. It's going to be lots of interesting things. Going to get that roadmap update. Hopefully it won't destroy my soul. Hopefully it'll be something that I'm happy with. Oh, actually, very briefly, so we know that like Jumptown and Nine House Lockdown and those sort of events are coming back again at some point. Do you think they should just be up more often? Do you think that we shouldn't really see a schedule on them? Are you after them being dynamic events or just up very, very regularly rather than stopping and starting? Or do you think it serves much more of a purpose to have these events stop, start, Xenothreat, then Jumptown again, then maybe another event?
I've talked about this before. I think they shouldn't be that frequent because otherwise we will just get bored of them. I'd love to see them become dynamic, but that's not going to happen until they get like Quanta and stuff working properly.
Okay.
So scheduled is probably better, but I don't think they should be that frequent at all.
So I think my dream is that we have so many events happening in so many areas that I don't get bored of any, because I can just sort of choose which I want to do.
Yeah, but we're not at that stage yet. We've got 3.
We are not. Yeah, that is a good point.
Of which only one of them, I mean, one of them, the original one, Xenothreat, isn't even really streamlined yet. So
I do like a good Xenothreat though.
Yeah.
Do you like a good Xenothreat? And you'll see more content on Xenothreat later this week, because we'll be playing it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed January, even though it was quite quiet and slow in regards to CIG news and video content from them. Though that 3.16.1 patch, Xenothreat testing, and a lot of other things did make it a lot more interesting. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the channel. Thanks for supporting us. Say goodbye, Sin.
Goodbye, Sin.
Hope you have a great February. Love you guys. See you in the verse. Bye. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women? No, of course not. It's NordVPN. I never saw Conan the Barbarian checking his bank balance and then watching some cool shows on Netflix, all while protecting his privacy and being super secure. To be honest, I can't even remember Conan wearing a shirt. Silly Conan. And now, a big old snake god's got your internet history. Good job. Don't be a Conan the Barbarian. Check out NordVPN. Links below for powerful discounts too. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January 2022, it's for a Drake Cutlass Steel, a light assault dropship variant of the Cutlass, perfect for attacking Jumptown and similar narcotic processing areas. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that Star Citizen ship is comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. If you would like to further support the channel, consider clicking the join button under my videos or becoming a Patreon. Comments, suggestions, likes and shares all help the channel massively too, so always feel welcome to share your opinion or feedback. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.